Welcome to Friday Fractions, the last one now, part 8. If you've done every single one of these, I'm very happy with that, so well done for that. Part 8. If this is your first ever one, then go back to an earlier one, I'd suggest, because I'm not really teaching that much now. More just going over what you already know if you've done this for 8 parts. So, question 1. Work with me if you want to, go faster than me if you can. The denominators are the same on this one, so it's just 4/12, isn't it? So this should be the quickest video out of the 8, because you don't need as much explaining if you've been with it the whole time. Although question 2 is a little bit unusual. We don't often deal with denominators as big looking as 100. Hundredths are really actually small, aren't they? Like if you smash something into 100 pieces, 100 equal pieces, they're very small, even though it looks like a big number. So 1/100th is a very small thing, much smaller than 1/5. Anyway, I need the denominators to be the same. I'm going to change what looks like the smallest denominator, even though it's not really. I want 100 on the bottom. What do you times 5 by to get to 100? It's 20. 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 20 is 100. So we're multiplying by 20. So multiply the top by 20 as well. Add them and you get 21 over 100. On to question 3. Pause if you need to pause. Question 3. The hardest version of addition, because the denominators are not the same and they don't fit into each other equally. 3 doesn't fit into 7. 3, 6, 9, 12 and 15. There's no 7 in the 3 times table. When that happens, you've got to change both. How do you know what to put on the bottom? 3 times 7 will give you a clue. 21. So, look at this side. What do you do to 3 to get to 21? You times it by 7. So times the top by 7 as well. And you get 14. On the other side, what do you do to 7 to get to 21? 7, 14, 21. Times by 3. So times the top by 3 as well. You get 9. And then you can add those, can't you? 14 plus 9 is 23. 21. That's fine. That's completely fine. You might change it into a mixed number. 1 whole 1 and 2 over 21. And on to question 4. Oh, this is so easy. So easy that I must be careful not to get it wrong. Do the right sign, I'm saying to myself. It's minus. 3 take away 1 is definitely 2. 2/8. Could be simplified to 2. Sorry, it could be simplified to 1/4, couldn't it? 2/8 is the same as 1/4. Question 5. 2/3 minus 1/60th. That's actually a very small denominator, isn't it? A 60th. Whereas a third is quite a big denominator. Anyway, I want 60 on the bottom. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 20 is 60. So we times by 20. So times by 20 on the top. 40/60ths. Take away 1/60th. 39/60ths. Now actually, that is completely fine. They both divide by 3 though. 3 times table ends on 36, but plus 3 is 39. 60 will divide by 3 like 6 does. So we can simplify that. Divide them by 3, I'd get 13/20ths. Don't have to simplify that one. On to question 6. 9/10ths. It's not a very good 6. 6 is 9/10ths minus 1/3. So I'll have to put 30 on the bottom to make this work. Times that by 3, so times the top by 3. And on the other side, I times the 3 by 10, so I'll times the 1 by 10. 27 take away 10 is 17/30ths. 17 is a prime number. I don't think that will simplify anymore. Question 7. Half times 49/50ths. So it looks a bit difficult, but times is not really that difficult, is it? 1 times 49, that's okay, that's just 49. And 2 times 50 is 100. On the bottoms, 2 times 50 is 100, so denominator 100. So 49/100ths. Can't see that you can simplify that at all. So we're done, and question 8. 3 times 6/7. Haven't given myself much room to make it 3 whole ones. 18/7 then. That's fine. You could make it a mixed number. 7, 14/7 would be 2 whole ones, and I'd have 4 left. 2 and 4/7. But that's fine on this one, and so is that. Let's go on to question 9. Let's keep this colour. 3/4 times 10. That's 3/4 of 10. 3/4 of 10 is 7.5. 7.5 this is, isn't it? It's going to be 7.5 or 7.5 if my estimate's right. 30/4. How is that 7.5? Well, it is. 30/4 is a top-heavy fraction, which is fine. Just neaten that up. But you can see how many 4s are in 30. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 and 28. I can get 7, that makes 28, and there's 2 left. 7 and 2/4. You probably know 2/4 is the same as a half. So it is 7.5. 7.5 if it was a decimal. But as a mixed number fraction, it's 7.5. On to question 10. What we're doing here, 2/5 divided by 1/4. Right, there's no way I can do this one in my head, I don't think. Division confuses me if I try and do it in my head. Keep, change, and flip. So 2 times 4 is 8, and 5 times 1 is 5. 8/5, that's fine. Well, it could be 1 and 3/5 as a mixed number. Question 11. Wait a minute, why am I pausing? You know why I pause like this? Because I'm not sure about what I've done. So it just makes me think I'm going to check. I think I'm all right there. Question 11. 8 divided by 5/6. Let's make it 8 whole ones. Let's do the KCF. Keep, change, and flip. My gosh, we're going to get 48. 8 times 6, 48. And 5. 48/5. That is all right. If you sing your 5s, don't go past 48, you get up to 45, which is 9. And there's still 3/5 remaining. So 48/5 or 9 and 3/5 is okay for this. Question 12. 4/5 divided by 2. Divided by 2 whole ones. Keep, change, and flip. So I have to go on here, but we get 4 times 1 is 4. 5 times 2 is 10. 4/10. 4/5 divided by 2 is 4/10. Well, 4/10 simplifies to 2/5. And that makes absolute sense because 4/5 divided by 2 is 4/5 shared between 2. If you had 4 of something, you share it between 2 people, you get 2 of something. So that proves it's 2/5. Question 13. Like last week, a little bit harder than it used to be. 2 plus 7/6. It's a bit of a trick. Because if you just put them together and make 2 and 7/6, you haven't really done anything wrong, but in the SATs they don't like a top-heavy fraction as part of a mixed number, do they? So you just have to get 6 of those 6ths to make another whole one, and there'll be 1 of them left. So it's 3 and 1/6. Question 14. Ten take away 4/8. I think I would rather do this one as change the 10 into 9 and 8/8. Excuse me. Change the 10 into 9 and 8/8 because 8/8 is a whole 1 plus 9 is a 10, isn't it? Then I can take away 4/8. There's so many ways of doing this. Whatever works is okay. And we'll get 9 and 4/8. 9 and 4/8 is the same as 9.5. Either one of those answers would be fine though. 9.5. On to question 15. Question 15 feels pretty easy after some of the ones that we've done. 15 divided by 3 really, isn't it? That's what it is, and it's 5. So simplify 15 thirds, it's 5 whole ones. 16 thirds is almost exactly the same. 16 thirds is going to be 5 whole ones. 16 thirds is 5 whole ones and 1/3 left over. Question 17, another big number like last week, 3/4 of 200,000. Let's see if we can think of other tricks to do this. Other ways of doing it. So you can do, get the big number, 200,000, divide it by the bottom times by the top. That's fine. Also, you could work out 1/4 of 200,000 perhaps in your head. It's a bit like 1/4 of 20 is 5. 1/4 of 200,000 is 50,000. Then times it by 3 and it'll be 150,000. But anyway, 200,000 divided by 4, that's 50,000. But do it on the bus stop if you need to, because it's an easy bus stop anyway. Just lots of zeros to write, but you'll see it coming out as 50,000. Then times that by 3. 5 times 3 is 15. And 4 zeros. You get 150,000. 150,000. On to question 18, nearly done now on the last day of Friday Fractions. Because if it's 2021 for you, might not be, but if it is, we're going back to school very soon. 2 3/4 plus 5 7/9. Let's get the denominators the same first. 4 times 9 is 36, so I'm going to go for 36ths on the bottom. To get that, I times by 9 on this side. And on the other side, I times by 4. So when I've done that, I can add the big numbers. 2 plus 5 is 7. And I can add the 36ths. 27 plus 28. What's that? That's not one of my favourite things to add. 55, isn't it? 55, 36. 20 and 20 is 40, 48, 55. Yeah. That's what they don't like in the SATs, isn't it? Hopefully you've learned that by now, because it's a top-heavy fraction in a mixed number. So use 36 of those 55ths to go up to 8 whole ones. And that will leave, I think, 19 of them left, isn't it? 19 36ths left. Let's just check that 19 plus 36 is 55. Yeah. 18 and 19 36ths. That's as simple as it gets, that one. In terms of simplifying, it's not a simple question. Question 19. 1 1/10. Take away 99 hundredths. So did you know that 1/10 is the same as 10 hundredths? See how we multiplied them both by 10? So you can do that. If you do the same to the bottom as the same as you do to the top, it's fair. Inside the big 1 here, there's 100 hundredths, isn't there? So 100 hundredths plus 10 hundredths is 110 hundredths. We can change that first part too. Take away 99 hundredths. I'll rewrite it just to keep it level on the line. Just copied that one, didn't I? So 110 take away 99 is 11. It'd be 11 hundredths, won't it? 11 hundredths. That's question 19. Question 20. 5 times 2 2/5. Can we do this in our heads while I'm writing it? I don't know. 5 times 2 2/5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 2/5 is 10/5, which is 2. I think that'd be 12. Let's see. 5 times 2 is 10, definitely. So we've used up the 2. 5 times 2/5, you can do the 5 over 1, is 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 5 is 5. So it's 10 and 10/5. But 10 divided by 5 is 2, giving you an extra 2 whole ones. And 10 plus 2 equals 12. Hope that makes sense, that one. Question 21. Final one of Friday Fractions. Final one of part 8 and all the parts. 4 3/4 divided by 5. Struggling to predict this one. Let's see. Let's get this as a fraction in quarters. So 4 whole ones is actually 16 quarters. So I can change all this to 16 quarters plus the 3 is 19 quarters. I'm not sure this is the easiest way of doing it. 19, oh yeah, we do KCF, keep, change and flip. It's getting a bit messy, but it is 19 times 1 is 19. And 4 times 5 is 20. Oh, that's nice. 19/20ths. That's almost a whole one, isn't it? Almost a whole one. That's quite a big fraction because it's very near one whole. That's question 21 done. Before we do the answers, let's just remind you of one little thing. This might be a bit difficult, but if you want to turn that into a decimal, you do 19 divided by 20. So that's how you turn a fraction into a decimal. So this is one last bonus thing. 19 divided by 20. It's not going to work, but if you make it 19.00, it might, or we might need another 0 in a minute. Let's see what happens. Doesn't fit in there, so you carry everything. Carry 190 over here. How many 20s in 190? I'm counting on my fingers here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. 180 is 9 lots of 20, leaving 10. And 20 into 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 is 5. So 0.95, just a little extra bonus. If you wanted to know how to turn any fraction into a decimal, you just divide it. 19 divided by 20 equals 0.95. We didn't need a decimal answer, just felt like showing you that on the last day. So let's look at all the answers. You can pause here. Thanks for listening to this week and any other weeks you've been listening to. I'll see you again sometime.